guys, welcome to another layout. Now this one is one using an older collection. So go stash busting, go deep diving into your own collections. And this one's actually a DCWV Butterflies and Flowers 12 by 12 paper pad. It's got some shiny pages, it's got some with a bit of foiling in them. You can see them all there. Basically, I am doing something that I am not really renowned for doing, but I am mixing up some patterns on my page. I've had this pad in my collection for so long. At the end of the day, you know what? We're not going to use it. If it's been sitting in your cupboard for 5 years plus, you're probably not going to use it anyway. So you might as well cut it up and use big chunks of it because, you know, it's just sitting there. So I grabbed a few pieces out that I felt would go together okay. And I've pulled out my photos. And what I'm doing is, now this is a little bit different. This is one of those things where I don't really measure it. I measure the first bit and then go from there. So I'm heavily distressing the edges. Now, this particular paper, as I just discovered right there, it doesn't like being distressed. You may notice when you go back and look through your paper pads that you've had for a while, I think I can preface it by saying, they are not all papers are made equal. They might say cardstock. They might say scrapbook quality, archival, all of those things. But the papers that we get now, you know, and I'm talking about, you know, the Page Evans, your American Crafts. I'm talking about even DCWV, even those ones. The papers now compared to the papers going back 5, 6, 7 years ago, whether it's because the papers are older, I'm really not sure what it is, but they don't like distressing as much. So what I decided to do was slightly distress the edge and then sort of just use my hands and roll it a little bit. So that way it gave me texture, but I didn't just solely rely on, see how I'm just rolling it up with my fingers? Rather than just solely relying on the distressing tool to bring it up and whatnot. Now, if you can hear in the background, if you can hear a chainsaw, that's because my neighbors are having a giant palm tree cut down today. And I was warned about it. I knew it was coming, but I sort of felt that hopefully, because I'm at the opposite end of the house and I'm locked in my craft room, hopefully doing these voiceovers you can't actually hear what's going on with the chainsaws. But anyway, but I digress. Now, this one, I just had a bit of tape underneath it to sort of hold it in place. You saw what I did there. I just lined it up on one side and then trimmed it off using my T-square ruler. You can see the chunks I've ripped off. They're not necessarily a certain measurement. I'm just eyeballing it. 99% of the time, I don't overly measure a page. I've been doing it for so long. And ironically, I don't use metric measurements. So I know I'm an Aussie. Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. I know I'm an Aussie, but I use inches. I use the imperial measurements because I don't know why. It's the scrapping industry is sort of more directed in inches for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, so I can get my measurements right if I work in inches. So anyway, now I've decided that I'm going to, these two photos, I wanted to use the stripy background paper because I don't often start off with a paper patterned background. I quite often go straight to the white and the mixed media. But this particular page, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to show you guys, because I have had a couple of comments, do you ever do pages that don't use mixed media or lots of mixed media? Yes, I do. I can, and I just love to play. When I'm in a mood to get all messy and all the stuff, you know, I love getting into it. And to be completely honest with you, I absolutely love it. Now, I'm adding a bit of craft foam behind this photo just because it's slightly going over the edge of the other one, and there is 3 layers behind those photos, and I did distress the edges. Excuse me. Oh, I nearly sneezed then. Woo! I thought it was going to happen. It didn't happen. Now, this is where I go into a different zone, because normally I always have my words matching. I use my Cricut, I use my dies, all that sort of stuff. But what I wanted to do on this particular layout is I wanted to use up some of these stickers. I have got heaps of them, but not really enough of each one to create a nice long wordy title like I like to do. So I decided that I was going to pull in all different ones, and I was going to do the mumble jumble thing and see if I can make it work on my layout. You be the judge of that. You let me know if that is something that I do have to Frankenstein some of these letters to get them to work. And I'm not a fan of doing the old Frankenstein, but I really love these letters. I wish I had have bought a stack of them, but it's okay. Stick around for just a little bit and you'll actually see how I create a very similar look to those using different ones. Trust me, it looks really good. So I'm pulling out the connection between these letters. The yellow one, the black one, and that white one, they all have glitter on them. The others have got a line through them. So in and park, and oh, this is where I realized I didn't have another A, and I can't Frankenstein that one, but I could get Jennifer out of it. So I got Jennifer, and that one is one I did have to Frankenstein the R. Tell a lie. I had to Frankenstein that one. So this one already has glitter on it. So a lot of them have glitter. Okay. So I wanted to, you can see the odd word out here at this point. Now, these particular letters, I really struggled. I love the look of them individually, but I didn't actually notice when I bought them that you get 2 of each letter. That's it. And the 2 letters are identical. There's no, you know, normally if you've got a multi like that, you've got 3 A's, 3 B's, 3 C's. That's not the case with this set. So I struggled to use that. Now I have stuck the word Jennifer onto a piece of packaging. I'm going over it with some titanium white paint. And then while it's still wet, I'm dumping some Distress. I'm going to say it correctly the first time. Distress Glitter Clear Rock Candy. I love that glitter. If you watched my video the other day, I'm going to tell the story again because, you know, I just can't believe that I nearly did it. But Tim Holtz has actually got Ranger to re-release the Rock Candy glitter, and it is in a really big bottle. So you can get a really large jar of it. So if you're someone that loves super sparkly glitter, because that's the difference between this glitter and, you know, your staticky horrible glitter. You know, we all use it. Let's not judge each other, you know, but the other sort of glitter that just goes everywhere and it statics and you find it for the next 6 months, this Rock Candy glitter is not like that. It's super duper sparkly. It's got different sized pieces in the glitter, and it allows the sparkle to just deflect and reflect, and yeah, I love it. Now, did you notice there that my H and my E are not straight, and then park didn't go on straight. So I'm playing with the idea, and the word with, I put the T crooked because I had put, because they're thickers, and we all know thickers let go after time. So I put some glitter glue behind, art glitter glue behind them, and nothing moves that. And because it's so warm here in Queensland at the moment, guess what? You got no chance. Buckley's and none, mate. I'm telling you, it's once that stuff, soon as the weather warms up ever so slightly, if you're looking for an amazing glitter, wet glue, wet glitter. Hang on, rewind. If you're looking for an amazing glitter, get rock candy while it's going because it's amazing. But the other thing is, if you're looking for a really, really good glitter, I said glitter again, art glitter glue. What is wrong with me? I know what's wrong with me. I can hear that chainsaw and I'm panicking that you guys can hear it, but hopefully you cannot. If you're looking for a really good glue, and you do a fair bit of scrapping, you spend a reasonable amount on tape, you're not a super big fan of wet glue because let's be honest, it warps things. That's what it does. So you know, we pretty much, I find with this particular glue, because you need the tiniest amount, I am always so heavy-handed with it. You don't need anywhere near the amount I use half the time. It is so good. It is so, so solid. It is brilliant. I absolutely love it. Now, where did I get some from? If you Google it, you can get some. Sorry, my emails keep coming through. It's driving me nuts. I absolutely love it. You can get it from so many different places here now in Queensland. Or Queensland, in Australia even. Like, there's so many places that have it. I remember when I first started using it, it was so hard to get your hands on because they actually can't ship it at certain times of the year because of the stability of the product. So yeah, it used to be really, really hard to get your hands on, but I feel that it is a lot more available now and I absolutely love it. So I'm adding some extra detail with my pen work. Now, I quite often say to you guys, pen work makes the difference, and this is why I'm going to town with it on this layout, to show you how it looked before. It looked okay. It looked fine. But the drop shadow that I tried with going underneath the letters with my alcohol marker, as you can see, it just absorbs straight into the paper and you can't see it. So I gave up on that idea and left it in there though, because, you know, we all have ideas that don't work, and there's no need to throw the whole layout out because one thing doesn't work. So I decided that I was going to go to town with my pens. This one is my Uniball Signo Broad White pen. It's 1.0 millimeter and it is awesome. Do not put it over the top of, this is my disclaimer, this is not from the company, this is from me. Don't put it over the top of wet mediums. It goes over acrylic paint once it's completely dry. It goes over that. Because it's a pigment ink, it sits on top, so it stays bright white. And the black is a gel. It's a gel pen, the one that I'm using now. And actually, is it? No, I'm using my Posca paint pen there. Now, I am going over my letters to sort of unify them a bit more. I tried, guys. I really, really tried. I tried so hard to just leave well alone, but I couldn't because this yellow word just stood out so much that it needed something over the top so that it sort of peeled it back a little bit. And I think that looks so, so much better. Then what I decided to do was come in with my Posca paint pen and just do some dots on these letters. And that way I've kind of got the dot theme going over the letters and it works. So, and that is about it, I think. I don't think there's much more. I did do some journaling because I quite often get this comment as well. Where do you put your journaling? I've got a space either on the top piece or down the bottom. And to be completely honest, I think I'm going to... Oh, actually I do. I put some more embellishments on here. Now this tray you can see off to the side of me. That is a heap of fussy cutting that I've done and some die cuts. These are ones that I will reach for. The top ones that I'm digging into at the moment were from Mint Tay. It's a little booklet and it's a 5x7 and it's called the Wing Book. And that's where I got those from. And the hearts and stuff, they were from a Mint Tay collection as well. I think it was Summertime. Maybe it was Summertime or Suntastic collection. Can't remember which one it's from, but I fussy cut them out because then that's my ephemera if I feel like my page needs a little bit more. Like on this layout, it looked fine how it was, but I felt that it needed to be maybe a visual triangle sort of look going around the photos. So I added some of those little sprigs. They are just a generic, they're called tall branches, and I don't even think you can get them anymore, but I love them because they just add a little pop of white, and I always just cut a heap of them out in white and have them sitting in that tray because there's something I can trim off and just pop on a layout just to finish it off. And that is probably the best bit of advice I can give anyone if they're looking for a die or something like that that's going to be versatile. Go for something like that, just a simple sprig. Don't go too thin though, because they struggle to come out of the dies, and it's not a quick process, and then you're less likely to use them because you don't want to cut them out again. So here's the close-up, guys. Let me know what you think in the description below. All that pen work totally pulled the page together, and I absolutely love it, actually. So you can see down the bottom the glitter on the word Jennifer and how sparkly it is. The light's just not doing it justice. So there you go, guys. That is my layout. Don't forget to hit me a thumbs up if you like this. Subscribe to the channel, helps me out. And also leave me a comment. That actually helps me out more than you realize. So thank you so much for watching, and I will be back to chat with you again real soon. Bye for now, guys.